I think that one of the most profound moments of, when I was still in the investment bank, just shortly before COVID, myself and my colleague, we had the opportunity to sit with two very interesting people. They were a couple at the time, and they had just received a windfall of, I think, or $150,000 or something like that, $350,000, and so they came to the bank, and they were really super interested in their children. So they had two children. I think at that time, one of the children was still in primary school, and then the other had just entered SS1. So they came to the bank, and then myself and my colleague, we both advised them that, hey, you guys set up a trust instead. Since you came here 40% or 50% or 70% of the time, what you've been talking about are, oh, your child this, your child that. And then so we know that you have very, very strong feelings for these children. So you can invest X amount in this and then set up a trust for them. And it was a jolly good time. They took the advice, they set up education trust for them, and they went back. About 9 months later, sometime deep into COVID, we actually received bad news that both the parents had passed on. So my colleague at the time, she was more in touch with them, and more or less she had to become the parents of those children in terms of education. Now, you would see her every day go through trust deeds saying, oh, what did they say if this happens? What did they say if that happens? Oh, this is not the particular uncle that was supposed to come, so we can't attend to this particular uncle. We need the other uncle with. And I thought it was a stressful process, but guess what? Right now, if we were to check the lives of those children based on the support that they got from my colleague, from the team that worked with her, and from the presence of that trust deed, I can say 100%, right, that because of the actions of those two people that we met, the parents that have passed on now, those children are actually better off for it. The point of this thing is that people think that when you talk about a trust or a trust fund child, they think it's something that is only for the rich. And because I mentioned $350K, it looks like it's something that's for the rich, but it's not. In this case, they had a windfall. People also do contributory trust towards their children's education. And what makes it substantive is the fact that there's a trust deed that says exactly what you need to do, down to the letter, down to the clothes that they should buy, how much they should spend on provisions, etc. and so forth, who should be the person to buy it. And the trustee's job is to make sure that they execute this thing, the trust deed, to the letter. So if you love your children, one of the best ways of also showing that love is to make sure that you have a trust deed in place for them, and so that they can benefit from that no matter what happens. There are things like living trust that even if you're alive, you can actually benefit from the trust, once the statements in the trust deed have been triggered. So if you don't have a trust and you have children, I think you should consider opening one today.